Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Sherry Doan. In today's practice, we will be practicing some core strengthening and balance exercises from the safety of a chair. Join me on your mat. So, we're together but apart. Class today is a little bit of inspiration from y'all because I want to try and continue to work with your issues and be inspired by your activities. So chair yoga with a strap, but we're going to start out with a little bit of cardio work because I know very few of us are getting much cardio with COVID and the inability to go do daily activities that we normally do. So first, let's go ahead and center in and look into our bodies. Coming to your chair, and I would like you to sit away from the back of the chair. Leave some space between your back and the back of the chair. And then plug those sits bones, your sitting bones, into that chair. Put your hands on your thighs somewhere and let those shoulders just get heavy. Put the feet flat on the floor. Bring the knees right over the tops of the ankles. And I know a lot of you remember that old typing position. That's kind of where we're at with the old typewriters, that perfectly aligned position. So spine long. Big, deep breath in. Connect with the earth through both your feet and your sits bones that are also connected to the chair, that are connected to the earth. Taking big, long, deep, slow breaths in through the nose. Let's take an open mouth exhale. Let's get two more of those. One more big, long, deep breath in. And exhale, open mouth. Close the mouth. Place your tongue behind the two front teeth. And begin to cultivate Ujjayi breathing. That's your long, deep, slow breathing. With the eyes closed, but turned up to look into the middle of your brain, the center of your forehead. This is your all-knowing, your higher self. Breathe deep into that space. Taking long, deep, slow breaths to prepare the body for your practice. At this point, you can actually set an intention to your practice. All of us have some physical or, mental, psychological, emotional issues that we need to deal with. Focus on that to send energy to it. And then thank yourself for arriving at this place to give and unite your body, mind, breath, and spirit, combining them as one. Big, long, deep, slow breath on the inhale. Let's go ahead and bring those palms together at the heart center. Press the palms together deeply. Draw the pelvic floor up. Exhale completely. Seal your intention. Inhale, open the eyes, release the palms of the hands. For our breathing practices, our cardio for today, we're going to jump right into it with what's called breath of fire, but we're going to combine that with something that we can do easily from a chair, which is chair jogging. So the breath of fire, we focus on the exhale, the same with jogging. And then you start to swing those arms. Maybe move your legs. Now we're jogging. Sit away from the the chair. Keep banging your elbows on the chair. And just, let's do some chair jogging cardio here. Let's get those systems picked up. Deep breath. Exhaling strongly through the nose or the mouth. I prefer the O of the mouth. You can move the legs a little faster. Keep it going. Turn the attention in, keep the breath powerful. Keep the navel pumping and maybe think about what you might be running by if you were outside running. Or even hiking, going up a very steep hill, a lot of work. We're almost there. Last little punch, keep it going. And there, you're at the top or you're at home or you're complete. Go ahead and bring the hands back to the knees. Try to slow the breath. Keep an eye on the heart internally. What's about your heart rate? Does this feel good in the body? Is it a little too high for you? You need to slow your breathing down. You feel good? Maintain. Long, slow breaths. Oh, that was exhilarating. Hopefully we got your heart rates up enough to where you might have started bringing some heat into the body. This also heats your muscles, so now we can go ahead and start stretching out. Go ahead and drop that chin to the chest. And on the inhale, roll to the left and around through the back. Exhale, roll through the front. Let's go 5 circles. And on your 5th circle, pause with the chin to the chest, and then reverse your turns. Long, deep, slow breath. Really letting that neck go. After that 5th roll, pause with the chin to the chest, and on the inhale, float the head back up. Let those hands come down beside you. Let them hang. And let the arms be heavy to pull the shoulders down. Keeping the core gently engaged. Sitting up on those sits bones. On the inhale, turn the palms up. Reach up. Now check your alignment here again. Shoulders down into the back. Palms, pretend like you have like a little ball of air or a little ball of energy between them. Exhale, turn the palms down and let those hands float down. Now with your breath, inhale, reaching up. We're going to do 5 of these. There's 2. Inhale, there's 3. Inhale, there's 4. Inhale, there's 5. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach up. Now we're going to twist to the left. Give it a little bit of a ring. Keep that pelvis in neutral. Inhale, release, unwind. Exhale, twist to the right. Give it a little bit of a ring. Keep that pelvis neutral. Core engaged gently. Inhale, up. Exhale, twist. Now we're 4 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, twist. And there's 3. And here's 4. And here's 5. And 5. Give it a ring. Gaze back over that left shoulder. We're going to do that again on the right side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, wind to the right. Hook the knee and the chair. Gaze back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, coming down. Now we're going to stretch through the neck. I'm going to take my jacket off. I have just gotten warm. We're going to stretch through the neck now. So first off, we're going to take these hands and interlace them behind the head. And on the exhale, drop the chin to the chest and draw the elbows together. Still keeping the shoulders over the hips and not allowing this neck stretch to come through the spine and roll you forward. But just allowing the arms to give a little weight to the back of the head and stretch from the base of the shoulders up to the back of the head. On the inhale, lift the head, open through the arms, slide the palms down to the back of the neck a little bit, and allow those hands to support the head as you gaze up and stretch through the front of the neck and the heart a little bit. Long deep breath here. I know it's hard to breathe when you're open heart to the sky. Inhale, coming up to neutral. Exhale, release the hands down to the sides. Now let's hook the right side of the chair with the right hand and we're going to scoot to the left. We're going to reach that left arm out and then drop the left ear to the left arm. Take that left hand and place it on the right temple. Exhale, add weight to the head with the arm, just a little, to your tolerance. Always minding your own balance and your own tolerances. And then lean left. Oh, that's a lovely stretch through that right upper trap. And if we want to get in deeper into the front of the neck, we can look up. Oh my goodness. Be gentle as you move. You can even, it's probably a good idea for this, if this is your first time, to release the tension and then move the head. If you're unaware of how much your neck can tolerate on this. So to get to the back of the neck, release, drop the chin towards that collarbone, and full on stretch. Few more breaths here. Really leaning in and stretching through those side neck muscles. This upper body works hard. We carry a lot of emotions, tension, and stress in our neck and upper body. And just this can help relieve a lot of that. One more breath. Inhale, release the tension. Lift the head slowly, release the left arm. Now turn the head to the right and then the left, real slow. Bring a little bit of range of motion back into those neck muscles so they don't bind up or try and snap back. You know, you never want to release a stretch quickly. It's like letting go of a rubber band. It snaps back. It's not good. You get snapped. Your muscles get snapped. All right, let's do the other side. Scooch it on over to the right side. Hook the left side of that chair. Reach that right arm out and right ear to right shoulder. Ooh. Let's put some weight on that left temple with that right arm. Exhale. Lean into it. And now hold and breathe. And again, make sure that you try to find a little bit of stretch through the back and front of the neck through gentle rotation of the head. Always maintaining the pelvic in a nice square neutral position. The upper body is arcing over just a little bit to create tension through the shoulder and stretch those upper traps, which attach at the end of the shoulder and the back of the head, and they go all the way down the back. The traps do. They're basically grouped into 3 sections. So, any more you want to please? One more breath. Breathe in a way that maintains your shapes. On the inhale, release. Exhale, coming down, and gentle head turns. Oh, good job. Okay, we're going to stretch through the heart now. So with the hands, we're going to bring them back in behind us. I'm going to turn so that you can see where I'm at. Interlace your fingers back and behind you. You're going to gaze up just a little bit, and as we try to bring the palms together, then we straighten the elbows and open up through the heart, gazing up a little bit. Try to maintain a little bit of a core contraction to prevent that low back from dipping back and kicking the tailbone back. Keep the tailbone tucked into the chair and breathe into this. Again, this is a really hard place to breathe into because everything is stretched so wide, so open, that it gives less expansion for that inhale. But that's the beauty of it. Because as we try to breathe deeper and deeper, we're stretching those chest muscles, those pec muscles, those front shoulders. All the accessory muscles for breathing are being stretched out. And we're reversing that folded forward spine. Did I not tell you we were getting into stretching today? I love it. Long deep breath. All righty. Come on out of this. We're going to bend those elbows. Peel the hands apart. And now, in order to let those shoulders go, bring those hands in between the legs and roll forward. Open up the legs a little bit. And then we're going to just kind of pendulum those arms. Maybe try and get the body to move just enough to swing the arms in alternate circles. Or maybe just letting the arms swing back and forth. Or forward and back. And just let them swing, let them hang. And again, always be aware of core contraction and how you are wearing your spine with the movements that you make. Try to always maintain a little bit of a core contraction, tailbone tucking, that supports that low back. All right, yeah, one more here. All right, coming on up. Again, sitting tall and away from the back of the chair. Now we're going to get into the hips a little bit. So we're going to extend that right leg out, keeping that left foot on the floor. Grab your strap if you need your strap. I'll go ahead and keep it handy and we'll show you how. So some of you folks can lean into this enough that you can maybe reach those toes. For those of you who cannot, we employ the strap to lengthen those arms out. So we're going to lasso that right foot. Now we want to start here from proper alignment again. Tailbone tucking, sits bones connected. That left foot is square and the left knee is right over the top of that left ankle. You can heel toe that foot out a little bit. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, let's bring the heart forward towards that right knee and stretch in. I need to adjust just a little bit for balance purposes, as I hope you do too as well. Keep the head up, shoulders back, just like we were stretching through that heart again. So even if you want to pretend like you're stretching through the heart and the hamstrings. Exhale. Bring it on down. Inhale. Exhale. Stretch it through. And this is a great way to stretch out the back body when we do way too much sitting during the day, but you're still stuck in your chair. And it's also good for folks who can't do a lot of standing, whose knees are bad, or who've had surgery recently on the hips or the knees. Some folks with cardio problems because of the standing stretches, and sometimes laying flat on your back can be a little bit of too much weight on the chest. So these stretches are really good. Inhale, coming up. All right. So now we got the back of the hamstrings. Let's get into the soleus a little bit. So in order to get to soleus, we're going to bend that right knee just a little bit and lean forward just enough to give some tension to the ball of the foot, pulling the strap back. So the toes are coming towards the shin. The knee is bent. Let me show you on a side angle here. So I'm driving my heel into the earth, using the strap, or if I can reach it, my hand, to pull back on the ball of the foot. So with the knee bent and the ankle bent, we're getting into a deep muscle in the calf called soleus. Be gentle with this because we don't usually focus on it much at all, but give it a little bit of a stretch there. Okay? Now we're going to move into another area of the leg. Release your soleus, stretch. Take your strap and hold it in the left hand. Scooch on over to the right side of the chair. Again, open. And let's start to work that right foot back and behind you. So untuck the toes, and if you can, try to work that knee back and right underneath that hip. If we're good here, this is stretching in the front of that hip. Should be stretching pretty good. If you can bend that knee enough to reach that foot and grab that ankle, go ahead and do that. If you cannot, bring it forward again a little bit. Employ your strap on the ankle. Strap your ankle, and then work that leg back and behind you again. As that knee comes down and below the hip, you'll need to counterbalance by hooking onto that chair. All right? So on the exhale, draw that knee back, and then draw that heel to the hind knee. This is a good quad stretch. So the quadriceps are a two-joint muscle. They work the hip and they work the knee. So in order to get a full, complete stretch on your quadriceps, you need to reverse the action that the quadriceps perform. They flex the hip, straighten the knee. So to get a good stretch, extend the hip, flex the knee. Woo-wee! Loving it. Great for me, folks, because now we're not on our knees, but we're getting good stretch. All right, give a couple more breaths here. And slowly and gently release out of it. Releasing your rubber bands slowly. And once you bring that leg up and forward, extend it out, and just gently bump the knee a little bit, okay? And then roll the hip in and out. Okay, let's get into the hamstrings, soleus, and quadriceps of that left leg. So again, if you need the strap, keep it close, but extend that left leg out, right leg secure on the earth, knee over the ankle, inhale, open through the heart, exhale, flex at the hips, and bring the body forward Reaching the arms out to that extended leg. Long, deep breath. Work within your own boundaries. Try to maintain your balance. Prevent yourself from falling off the chair. Hook onto whatever you might need. Exhale, forward fold. Give it 5 more long, deep breaths here. Really find yourself in the back of that tight knee. Keep pulling the toes towards that knee. Keep breathing in a manner that supports the shape you're in. And that's the position that you're in, not physical shape. One more breath here. And on the inhale, press through that right foot, tuck that tailbone, roll it on up. And let's find that soleus stretch, bending that knee, but keeping the ankle flexed, toes towards the shin. If you can reach the foot with your hands, please do. I need a strap on this one personally. Keep that heart open and draw those toes towards the shin. Feel that deep underneath that calf muscle. Breathe for 5. One more. All right, let's get to the other side of that knee. If you use the strap on the ankle for the other side, set yourself up for this side. Scoot yourself on over to the left side of the chair. And scoot over to the left. There you go. And hook the hand on the chair. I'm not going to use the strap for this one, but please do apply it if you need it. Now walk that left hand back, or that left leg back and behind you, and try to get that knee directly underneath that left hip before you peel that left foot from the earth and hook the ankle with the hand. Oh. Now sometimes the legs are going to get a little grumpy. Now I just had a little bit of a hamstring muscle spasm when I pulled my knee up. So if you have muscle spasms like that, just release and then try to work yourself back in. And exhale. Now, drawing back and moving into your quad stretch. Pelvis in neutral, tailbone tucking, left knee reaching back and behind that hip, pressing through that right foot, and breathe. Try to hold for 5 breaths. That's the inhale and the exhale. Got one more. Alrighty, slowly. Let those quadriceps go. Walk that leg forward. Find your middle ground on the chair. Bump those quads a little bit and roll those hips. Alrighty, we're going to get into now the hip rotators, nice and deep, okay? So we're going to go ahead and take that right ankle. If you can, place it on the left knee. If this is too much for the knee, same thing goes for the other one. Just gently pick it up and try to manually, with your hands, give a little rotation to that, You don't have to come into the pose fully. None of these are all just suggestions. Yoga is just merely suggestions because it doesn't always work in everybody's body. Everyone has a dysfunction or limitation. Inhale. Exhale. Bringing again the heart towards the shin. That left leg is in a nice square position, 90 at the ankle, 90 at the knee. Inhale, come up. You should feel this in the booty of that right leg. Exhale, heart comes towards the thigh. So we're in a figure 4 stretch here. Anyone with low back problems, this sequence of stretches, the hamstrings, the soleus, the quadriceps, and the piriformis, the hip rotators, all these stretches will significantly reduce low back pain if practiced every day. And that's the key. Every day. Even if you do 10 minutes every day, you still gain the benefits with reduced low back pain. Keep breathing. One more breath. Try to hold it for your 5. Come to your level of tolerance and hold. Inhale to come up. Gently release. And now, once you set that foot down, we're going to try and counterbalance that rotation and walk that right leg out and drop that right knee in. Try to walk that foot out a little further, drop that right knee in, and do a little bit of a press through that knee. Try and stretch through the opposite rotation a little bit. Now this will have a lot more range in it, in the hip, the internal rotation versus the external rotation. And inhale, bring it up. So that one's more of a counter stretch rather than a full stretch. Alrighty, other side, pick that left leg up and again. Okay, rock it, knee people, getting it with the hand and foot, doing the manual stuff, or heel toe that other leg in to reduce there's a lot of things going with the hip when you put it into figure 4 because you have flexion and rotation and these movements. So when you change them, you can probably find it a little easier. But so kind of work with it a little bit in your body. That's my suggestion, is finding these positions in your body the way your body feels good. They're not too intense, but you can feel the change occurring in the joints. Long deep breath. See, at this point in time in class, I'd probably be walking around and adjusting, folks. Instead, you're going to hear me rammer on about anatomy and muscles and range of motion and all that beautiful, fabulous stuff that I love so much. Hold for your 5. One more. And making your way on out here. And remove that leg. Drop it on down. Let's go ahead and reverse that rotation. So heel toe that left foot out and drop that left knee in. Try to deepen that stretch a little bit. I have a lot of range in that hip, so contort that leg a little bit. I love watching contortionists, by the way. They're so much fun. Cirque du Soleil has got some free shows on. I've been watching those 60 minutes, I think once a week. of Cirque du Soleil. The discipline of those people. It's just amazing. They're just amazing folks. Alrighty, so now let's go ahead and do a little bit of strengthening, okay? So we're going to go ahead, now that we've stretched everything out, we're going to see how open we can become. So let's turn to face the left. Let's employ this, let me get this up. Let's employ this working of the hips that we've just done by coming to that right hip is hanging off the front of that chair. Now we're going to hook the chair with the left hand and work that leg back, that right leg back. Okay? Try to get it back as far as you can with the toes curled into the mat. And find your spot wherever you're at, okay? Keep that left leg right over the top of the left ankle. Now, try to really press through the balls of those right feet. Press through the back of that right leg. Straighten that right knee, and then attempt to draw that right hip forward. Oh, working those legs good. So now we're going to attempt to tuck that tailbone in a little bit. Oh, even more stretch in that front leg right there. And on the inhale, if you can, reach the hands up over the head. So pretend like you have a little ball of energy between your hands. Stack the shoulders right over the hips and press through the feet. Here we are in the shape of a high crescent lunge, only being supported by the chair, so it's not so difficult on the lower body. Long deep breath here. Really activate through the legs, and you can even press through the feet and attempt to find your own strength and lift that left femur off the chair. And then drop that left femur back down to support. Hold the shape. One more breath, if you so choose. Press through the feet. Lift that left femur from the chair. Drop it back down a little bit. Oh, good stuff. Let's open this up. So we're going to take that right hand and drop it back as that right hip opens to the front, and we're going to drop that right heel to the earth. Now we're in a chair-supported proud warrior pose, or warrior two pose, Virabhadrasana 2. Long deep breath. Now to get this shape in alignment, again, keep pushing that right knee as straight as you can to descend that right heel. And if you need to inch that leg up a little bit and shorten that stance, be there. Now try to stack the shoulders right over the hips, pulling back on that right arm and then pulling forward on the left. So give that a little back and forth a couple times. Shoulders down, and then gaze out and over that left hand. And again, if you want to test your strength here, you can press through the legs, float that left femur, that left thigh bone off the chair, and drop it back down. Or you can just continue to work with support from the chair, setting your alignment up. Getting everything placed, reach, long deep breath. And we've got one more of these standing chair asana. Turn that left palm up and then reach that left palm to face up to the sky as that right palm comes down and rests hanging towards that right thigh. So now we have a reverse crescent. Long. One more breath here. Let's walk through those asana. Bring it back up. Warrior two or proud warrior. Then bring that right hand up and forward. Shift that right hip forward. Crescent in the chair. Release the hands down. Drop that right knee down and turn to face center. Ooh, that was a lot of work. So heel toe the feet open. Let's do a couple of real gentle cat-cows or posterior anterior pelvic tilts or flexion extension. It all depends on your discipline. I've got a lot of disciplines. But no discipline. Kidding. Yeah. Long deep breath. All right, y'all ready to move to the next side? Turn to face right. Scooch that left hip off that chair and hook that toe to the right hand. Let's continue on. Drop that left leg down. Find your alignment. Keep working. Wiggle those left toes back and behind you until you can curl the toes into the mat. Keep trying to tuck that tailbone. Ooh, good stretch in that front hip. Now we'll work to straightening that leg. That left knee gets pressed to the sky. That left hip draws forward. Center yourself on the chair. And when you're ready, go ahead and reach those arms up into your high crescent. Hold here and keep adjusting your alignment, or try to work it a little deeper and increase a little strength by trying to float up off the chair. Yogi's choice on how you practice your asana. Just always try to maintain good alignment in the joints. It's the lack of alignment that will damage the joint. It's when you're tweaked in an unnatural way and trying to get the joint to open unnaturally versus a slower, more linear opening. One more breath. All right, let's open it up to your warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2, and turn to face forward, opening that left hip and dropping that left heel onto the mat. Shoulders stacking over the hips, reaching those arms out, bringing the wrists right in line with the shoulders. Shoulders down. Okay. Tuck that tailbone. Whoop, get that forward leg in alignment, arms fill out. Right ankle right underneath, right knee. Long deep breath. And let's hold this for roughly 5 to 10 breaths. Or keep wiggling through your alignment. Finding your perfect shape. And again, hovering if you so choose. This is one of my favorite asanas to practice because it is so strong. It's a warrior position and a proud warrior, a strong warrior, a fierce warrior. And it creates that energy in the mind as well as the body. All right, let's reverse this warrior. Turn that right palm up. Drop that left palm towards that left thigh. But avoid putting pressure through that back leg, through that hand. Just allow that left hand to rest. Palm faces back and then opens through that right side body. Long deep breath. And again, if you'd like to test your strength, Float that right femur from the chair. Take your 2 more breaths. Bringing it on up. Find that warrior 2 again. Get your alignment. Let's work ourselves back into that high crescent lunge, swinging that left arm down and forward, peeling that left heel up, ball of the left foot to the earth. Reach the hands overhead. And one more time, maybe try to float that hip up a little bit. And release it down. Hands come down. Clasp the chair. Let that knee relax. Turn to face. Alrighty, hands on the knees. Give yourself a couple of cat-cows here. Now, if you don't have dizzy spells or any cardiac issues that prevent your head from being below your heart, let's go ahead and roll it forward to release it out and moving into our Shavasana. We'll be taking Shavasana off of our chair, of course. So we're just breathing for now. Chin to chest. Allow the tailbone to tuck and the body to roll forward. Allow the legs to come in enough to drop the shoulders down onto the knees if you can. And release the head. If you can safely move into a deeper forward fold, you can open up the legs, scoot back on the chair, and roll forward a little more till the whole body rolls forward. So again, with your safety in mind and your body awareness at the forefront, know that you need to be safe enough not to fall out of your chair. Long deep breath here. On the inhale, tuck the tailbone, engage through the core gently, and let's roll it up. Okay, heel toe those feet back in. Let's scoot to the edge of the chair. Now we're going to come down onto our backs on the mat. So make your way there however you need to safely. In some of my PT work, when I teach some fall recovery, fall prevention, one of the big things that we have to work on is putting the hands on the chair and then just lowering the body down from the chair, because that's kind of how we have to get up. But anyway, find your way to the mat. Get your chair out the way. Alrighty. So we have to wring the body out a little bit. We've been sitting with the hips in flexion this whole time. So hook the hamstrings and allow the legs to lower the body down to the mat, one vertebra at a time. Reach those legs out straight. Oh my goodness, that is just lovely. Reach those arms up over the head and long body stretch here. Exhale, let's draw that right knee into the chest. Give it a hug, roll that right ankle in both directions a few times. Send that leg out to the earth, reach it back up. Exhale, left knee comes into the chest, give it a hug, roll the ankle in both directions a couple times. Inhale, reach it back up and out. Okay, let's walk those those legs to the right. Clasp the left wrist with the right hand. Arc the upper body to the right. Now take that left ankle and set it on the right ankle. And then roll that left hip down towards the earth and stretch from that left ankle to the left wrist. Inhale, release, and let's walk the extremities back into midline. Trade the clasp of the wrist. Walk the legs to the left. That left ankle sets on top of that right ankle. And that left hand draws that right wrist over, rolling that right hip back into the earth. Long, deep breath. One more breath. Inhale, revert, release. Exhale, bring the hands back over the head and set the palms next to the hips. Bend the knees. Let's ring the spine one more time. Lengthen through the spine. And then cross the right leg over the left, like girls cross their legs. Or, if that's too much for you, just go ahead and draw both knees into the chest if you have low back issues or the crossing's too much. So now we're going to scooch the hips a little bit to the right if you've got your legs crossed. If you don't, that's okay. Don't scooch. Now drop that right knee to the left side. Open those arms up and gaze to the left. If you just have your knees into your chest, just drop those knees off to the side. Long, deep breath. One more breath here. Wringing all those toxins from the spine, all the stress, anxiety, everything that's been happening. Inhale, unwind, uncross. Bring the spine back into neutral. Recross the legs or draw the knees to the chest. Other side, don't forget about that scooch of the hips if the legs are crossed. Inhale, unwind, uncross, level the spine, and at this time, if your body would like any more personal movements, go ahead and give yourself a couple of personal movements. If there was something that we missed, there's a stretch that you need, something, anything, take it. Allow your body to tell your mind what it needs for the moment. Now find yourself laying back in corpse pose, dead man's pose, relaxation pose. Close the eyes. Scan the body from the toes to the arches and tops of the feet, ankles, calves, shins, knees, hamstrings, quadriceps, medial thighs, hips, front, side, and back of the hips. Scan your glutes, low back, pelvis, sacrum, up the low back spine, side bodies, rib cage, shoulders, scapula, heart. Scan your shoulders, elbows, wrists, hands. Move back up from the extremities to the throat. Swallow. And scan the face. We have a smile on our face. Were we grimacing? Soften the face. Feel the porous skin of the face. Take a deep, long, slow breath in through the nose and let it go through open mouth. Close the mouth. Rest here quietly. Envision your body healing. Envision your emotions stable. Envision yourself strong. Body, mind, and breath. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we be healed. May we be a source of healing for other beings. May we awaken to the light of our own true nature. I thank you for joining me today, being together and apart. Again, if you so choose, rest here as long as you need. Namaste. Have a beautiful day, yogis. Take this peace with you until we meet again.